Welcome to a look inside of Navigation Safety 1. We will take a brief look at one of the modules, Module 4. Each of the 19 lessons and the module quiz are described here in Lesson 1, Learning Objectives. This is the overview of Lesson 2, Collision Regulations. The collision regulations run from Rule 24, Towing, to Rule 31, Seaplanes. Here we have Rule 24A. These are the lights required for a power-driven vessel when towing. Lesson 3 is the keyword coal regs. Here we have Rule 24A, Towing and Pushing International. Each blank is given a number. Think, what are the missing word or words for numbers 1 and number 2? Lesson 3, keywords are shown for the blanks on the preceding page. Now check the keywords. Number 1 is masthead. Number 2 are in a vertical line. So there are 2 masthead lights in a vertical line required when towing. Length of tow less than 200 meters. Lesson 4 covers the STCW code A8/2 watchkeeping. This shows paragraph 24 to 26 under performing the navigation watch. Lesson 5 is the keyword STCW code. This shows paragraph 24 to 26 with the keywords missing. Lesson 5. This shows the keywords for the STCW code from paragraph 24 to 30. Note that number 1 is on the bridge and number 2 is the bridge until properly relieved. Lesson 6 to Lesson 11 are all short videos. They cover the international versions of Rule 24, Towing and Pushing, to Rule 30, Vessels at Anchor or Underground. They include narrated text, illustrations, animations, and interpretations. Lesson 8 video for Rule 26, Fishing Vessels. This illustration shows the lights for a fishing vessel engaged in trawling with the nets fast upon an obstruction. Lesson 12 is International versus Canadian Modification. This shows Rule 24C International with the regulatory text and the figure. This shows the lights of a power-driven vessel less than 50 meters, pushing ahead or towing alongside. Lesson 12, International versus Canadian Modification. Note the Canadian flags for the text and the figure. This shows the Canadian modification for Rule 24K. Here we have the same vessel as before, pushing ahead or towing alongside, now in the waters of the Great Lakes Basin. Note the 2 towing lights in a vertical line. Each rule with the Canadian modification will be shown in the same way. The international version is shown first. Lesson 13, Coal Regs, Lights and Shapes, Flashcards. Observe the vessel. Fully describe the vessel based on the lights or shapes shown. Note the sectors of the lights in this diagram. Lesson 13, Power-driven vessel, pushing ahead or towing alongside. The towing vessel is less than 50 meters in length, and this is the international regulation. Lesson 13, again, observe the vessel. Fully describe the vessel. Lesson 13, this is the U.S. Inland Rule 24, which is the same as the Canadian modification in Rule 24 Kilo for the waters of the Great Lakes Basin. It's power-driven vessel pushing ahead or towing alongside, less than 50 meters in length in the waters of the Great Lakes Basin. Lesson 13B, Flashcards for Lights and Shapes. Only the lights are shown here. Determine the type of vessel and the aspect, i.e. is it head-on, stern view, port or starboard side. Lesson 13B, Flashcards. The vessel shown is less than 50 meters in length, engaged in fishing other than trawling, underway and making way. The view is of the vessel's starboard side. This is the way Transport Canada examiners will expect you to respond during oral examinations. Lesson 14, Video Vessel Collision Case Study number 3. It's a short video using animations including the actions of each ship and a discussion on which rules have been contravened by each vessel. Lesson 15, Handout for COLREG's matrices. This compares the lights required for various vessel types when underway, making way, and at anchor. Lesson 16, Law Case Thatcher versus Shell. This is a civil law case seeking damages for a collision between two pleasure craft. Lesson 17 is a TSB report into a collision between two general cargo vessels, the Florence Spirit and the Atlantis. It's an investigation to determine the causes and contributing factors of an incident, giving a regulatory view of the rules. Lesson 18, Optional Online Links. Here we have 3 good videos: passage planning, testing of bridge equipment, and ship reporting systems. Lesson 19, International versus Canadian modification figures. Here we are comparing Rule 24C International to Rule 24K Canadian modification. This view shows the figures only without the text. Lesson 19, Figures, showing a comparison for the lights required for various vessels when underway, making way, and at anchor. This is a valuable resource for review just prior to doing the quiz. This is Module 4 quiz that contains 54 multiple choice questions. Question 3 asks which lights show a vessel pushing ahead or towing alongside. This is the International Rule 24C, and the answer here is A. Module 4 quiz, question 4. This asks the same question as before, but now for the waters of the Great Lakes Basin. This is the Canadian modification, Rule 24K. The answer is now D. I hope that you have enjoyed this brief look inside of Navigation Safety 1. Please visit nauticaltrainingonline.ca for more information. Good luck with your studies. My name is Captain Grant Coburn.